People, we are the people, the mighty, mighty people.
You've got this immigration crisis boiling over in at least one town. Citizens criticized for staging protests against the arrival of illegals, but the town's mayor is coming to their defense. So we're going to talk to him live about that and what is next after this.
And there were some legitimate concerns, health concerns, and humane concerns. People were concerned about the people, the immigrants coming here. Would they have proper facilities? Who's going to take care of them? How long is this going to be for?
10:33 here in New York, 7:33 in Southern California, where the immigration crisis is rocking a Southern California town right here. You had protests erupting as busloads of illegals roll into the town of Murrieta, California. Some demonstrators staging a tense standoff, blocking buses along that route. The mayor is Alan Long, and the mayor is with me now. And, sir, good morning to you. Appreciate your time. We're trying to figure out what in the world's happening now and what could possibly happen next. So thank you for your time today. Simple question. You're how many miles north of San Diego? Before you cross into another county toward the city of Los Angeles. Why'd they pick your town, Mayor?
We're asking the same question. We have no idea. We're a very small town. It's a bedroom community of 106,000, and the air is clean and the people are beautiful and friendly, and all of a sudden the world showed up at a doorstep.
Yeah, are more coming, Mayor Long?
As far as we know, Murrieta is still a destination point, so we have every reason to expect more buses to arrive in Murrieta.
Okay.
Border Patrol and Department of Homeland Security has not answered any of those questions. We just anticipate more coming.
Have you had any contact with Border Control? Have you had any contact with the immigration officials?
Border Patrol locally here has been great. They've passed on information as they have received it. At the national level and with Department of Homeland Security, we have yet to hear from them with a short-term and a long-term plan. So we're really in the dark.
And the protesters, they've come from both sides of the issue. Some favor the illegals coming and staying here and getting the protection they need. And others have come out and said, hey, listen, you know, our country's not for you and you have to go back to it from where you came. And you say, well, I guess the concerns on both sides are legitimate. And so just explain a little bit about how you view that, what your position is on that.
Well, it's really, there's two issues here. There's one that deals with compassion, and then there's another that deals with lawlessness. And you talked about two sides. Well, what I found out through this experience, there's actually a third side. And I think the majority of both sides of the protest line land on this third side. And what the third side is, everyone wants a fair, efficient, and legal process for these immigrants to come in. You can't just send them all over the country without proper health care, without proper screening. Some of them are really sick. They had to unload the bus as they came to Murrieta after traveling from Texas and take them to the emergency room. That's just not humane or right. So this third side, people balancing out lawlessness and compassion is where I'm finding most people land.
Well, how do you think we reached this point? I mean, you know, you think about whether it's in California or New Mexico, Texas or Arizona, you think about what's happening in Washington, or maybe the better point is what's not happening in Washington. How do we reach this point where your small little bedroom community is inundated?
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. What's not happening in Washington is they're not fixing the root cause of the problem. They knew this was happening. There's evidence, there's data that in January they anticipated this, yet there was no long-term plan. It was just sort of a shotgun effect, and now all of a sudden Washington can't handle it, Texas can't handle it. I don't know where the governor of California is. All of a sudden, little town of Murrieta is supposed to take on the world's problems, and that's just not right.
You haven't heard from the governor either?
Haven't heard a word.
What's that tell you?
Well, I think it's just being a big national problem is being dumped on the doorsteps of these small town communities, and we just can't have that. Again, the root cause of this, whatever we do here in Murrieta, we're going to maintain the safety of everyone, but that's just a Band-Aid. If we don't fix the problem in Washington, D.C., this will just continue to happen over and over again. And when it's not in Murrieta, it'll be somewhere else.
Mayor,
we
thank
need
you.
to fix the root cause of the problem, and that needs to be done at the federal level.
Thank you, sir. Alan Long's the mayor of Murrieta, California. Really appreciate your time. We're going to stay in touch with you and some of the others there in Southern California. Thank you again.